Hey guys, it's me Seren back with another video. My computer is actually on the charger, it's dead, and so is my iPad, so I'm filming this really quickly on my phone. I just had to make this video. For any of you that haven't heard, last night 5 Black Lives Matter protesters were shot at a protest in Minneapolis. They're protesting after the death of Jamar Clark, a 24-year-old black man who was fatally shot by Minneapolis police. He was shot in the head while in handcuffs. I'll include links in the description box on that story as it unfolds. But they've been protesting since he was shot. I believe he was shot last week, so over a week now they've been protesting at the Minneapolis police department. I was going to say police office, police department. And last night during one of their protests, 3 white males showed up. Initial reports said 2 white males and 1 Asian, but I believe the newest accounts say 3 white males showed up wearing masks and bulletproof vests, and they staged what they called a counter protest. So basically they were yelling racial slurs, they were taunting the Black Lives Matter protests, and when some of the protesters attempted to kind of move them away, herd them away from the main protest, they turned around and opened fire. They opened fire on unarmed protesters, and they shot 5 people. 1 person was shot in the stomach. They're saying that these are not, that none of them sustained life-threatening injuries. I feel like getting shot in the stomach is a really serious injury, but whatever. I know like 1 person was shot in the leg, and I know for a fact that reports have said that 1 person was also shot in the stomach. So, this is terrorism. This is terrorism. This is exactly what I was talking about in my last video, what I touched on when I said, there's been, ever since Paris, there's been this wave of people saying like, you see black people, you see Black Lives Matter protests, this is real terrorism. This is what real terrorism looks like. This idea that real terrorism is Muslims, is ISIS, is brown bodies, attacking white people. That we've really internalized this narrative of this is real terrorism. When just as I said in my video, homegrown terrorism, white supremacists, white nationalists, right-wing extremists, homegrown terrorism is a bigger threat than international terrorist groups like ISIS, and it's sad and horrible and terrible that this had to happen, but this demonstrates my point completely. This demonstrates the point completely of all the people that are saying, we have a problem with domestic terrorism, we have a problem with white male rage, we have a problem with terrorism in this country. We have a problem with terrorist attacks being waged against black people in this country. And people act like it's a joke. They act like it's a game. They act like it's not a real thing. They act like, this is not real terrorism. They say like, oh, see, Black Lives Matter, this is real terrorism. No, white supremacists opening fire on unarmed people, civilians, is terrorism. It's homegrown terrorism. It's domestic terrorism. It's meant to instill fear in black people. It's meant to instill fear in Black Lives Matter protesters. It's meant to foster this idea of white supremacy, of white nationalism. It's terrorism. It is terrorism, and I hope that it's true that no one sustained life-threatening injuries. Again, like I said, someone was shot in the stomach. So I really hope, no one takes a turn for the worse. I hope no one dies. As of right now, no one has died. And they're looking for the 3 white male suspects. And it's just, this is real terrorism, Dylan Roof shooting 9 black people in Charleston is real terrorism. There is a campaign of terror being waged against black bodies in this country, and it is very real. So I just wanted to make this quick video about it. And this is barely being covered in the media. Barely being covered in the media, of course. But then when protesters don't want the media at their protest, the media throw their hands up in the air and act like they don't understand why. This is barely being covered in the media. And even where it has been covered, there's this really, ambiguous language. They don't want to use the word terror. They don't want to use the word terrorist. They don't want to use the word terrorism, domestic terrorism, homegrown terrorism. Homegrown terrorism. They're calling it a counter protest. Shooters gunmen, you know, that. But when ISIS did their attack on Paris, oh, it was terror, terrorism, terrorists. We need to put ID badges on Muslims and this. No, we need to start putting fucking ID badges on white people if we're gonna ID anyone, because they're out of control. They're out of control. They're out of control. It's insane. It's crazy. This is real terror. It's terror, and people are terrified. You know, and like I said, the media it's barely a blip on the media, because it's not real terrorism unless it's brown people attacking white people. It's not thugs unless it's black people attacking white people. It's I just really want people to wake up to the narratives that we're being force fed by the media and by everyone. And it's just like, this is terrorism. This is terrorism. 5 people were shot last night at a protest by white supremacists that had bulletproof vests and masks on. Okay? This is terrorism. There's a war being waged against black bodies in this country. So I just wanted to make this video really quick about it. I will include links in the description box. I am doing a gift guide video on Friday. People have been asking, so please stay tuned for that. It's going to be long and full of links and full of stuff. So that is coming. So I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye.